Sorry.
I was actually at Pierport Beach, building a sandcastle when Sandman...
That's perfect.
My grandma always talked about going here. She'd walk across the bridge every Sunday to get the freshest vegetables in the city. But one time, she was late and the guy in front of her bought all the tomatoes. And that's how she met my grandpa.
Not bad.
Is that? Oh, man! I haven't been there in years. When we were at the Bugle's old office, we'd hide out here whenever Jonah was about to blow. I finished a lot of assignments sitting at that bar. And a lot of grasshoppers.
They're so delicious, it's a crime. Not an actual crime, though, because then I would stop it. Or you could try some of our... How does it look? Was that good? If it's great, post it. If it's not, let it die.
Okay, you can send it to me. And also, am I prominent in the picture? I do represent a larger customer base.
Haha, the bodega beef. It was already a rivalry for the ages when it was just David versus Goliath. But when Teos had to deal with the bodega copying his success by using the exact same mascot, it stepped up to a whole nother level.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you would.
Also, can I do one where we do a silly one, and then we do a serious one, and then I do my model face? I do a pouty one really well. Oh, I was gonna bleach my teeth before the picture.
Said you needed my opinion on something else, right?
This month's special, banana bread.
Good.
Was that a good photo? Post it online!
Ah, here we go. Now, I'll admit, I first walked into his shop because of all the articles about his new flavors, but his traditional ones would have kept me coming back. Sometimes a classic is a classic for a reason.
Yep. Well, this has been a test.
That's perfect.
You get a lot better shots if you come to the show, Spider-Man!
New York's always had a thriving underground wrestling scene. Even been to a few shows myself. That combination of theatricality with amazing feats of strength and athleticism, it's electrifying.
Excusez-moi. Not bad.
When my son was growing up, I helped coach his youth baseball team here. Every game we played, the parents talked more trash than the kids, myself included.
That should work for Robbie.
NYC, the mecca of basketball. Sure, you can play it anywhere with just a ball in the net. But when you got the people in the apartment buildings watching, the other players trash talking, and the sound of rubber hitting asphalt, there's a reason they call it the city game.
Okay.
Good, good.
Reminds me of the people who write into the Bugle, and a few who work there. Freedom of speech is a beautiful thing, but saying a thing over and over again doesn't make it true.
Whip it up. Whip it for real. You heard of the spectacular Spider-Man? We're the subliminal Spider-Man!
Because our dazzling... well, Spider-Man's a shutterbug!
Click, click. Whip, whip.
Yeah, some things in New York you just can't explain. And that's what's great about it.
Not bad.
Sometimes, I worry with all the terrible things that happen in our city. People be afraid to leave their homes, live their lives. But not today.
That should work for Robbie.
Protesting isn't just a constitutional right in New York. It's your civic duty. Especially when a multinational corporation is behind a bioweapon unintentionally getting released into the city.
Transmuting of metal and converting of water. Can you inform us what it is that...
I'm not feeling it yet. I gotta warm up. Work some...
Can't wait for my hiking trip next week. It's gonna be great to breathe something out of this.
Whether it's on the stage or in the open air, where else can you see legends and soon-to-be legends performing every day? London? That's really far away.
That's perfect.
I mean, if I was rich, I'd take advantage of that backdrop too. I'd also be worried about constantly launching balls off the roof, but I guess they can afford it.
A little embarrassed to admit it, I got a Spider-Man tattoo.
Not bad.
Honestly, we need a whole other photo series just on New York's music. Its impact, the communities it built, its outright brilliance. It's hard to encapsulate in one photo, but this isn't bad.
Well, if I have to go through breakups, at least it's in New York.
That should work for Robbie.
My best friend's kid painted this. I remember her showing me a sketch of it the day before it went up. New York is nothing without its people.
Good, good.
You know, I saw an old Grand Master playing there last week. Anyone could walk up and challenge him. And he lost to a kid who lives down the street from me. Dev. Never seen anything like it.
Who it is? I'm leaving.
What if a spider were bitten by a radioactive heat?
That's perfect.
Is that a good photo, Spider-Man? Hey, send it to the student newspaper.
The Spider-Men aren't the only superheroes in New York. Getting students to class on time? One of the greatest powers I've ever seen.
Can you get through airport security in that suit?
Not bad.
Say what you will about social media, and I can say a lot. It's helped so many businesses stay afloat here when they would have gone under a long time ago.
Cash or something like that? I don't have no money. What are we gonna do?
That should work for Robbie.
You know, for a place where everyone's comfortable calling out when something's wrong, people here sure hate admitting when they're wrong. The writer in me does love the irony, though.
Look, he pulled over, he even used sprinkler. I mean, it ain't my
Good, good.
Ah, the Manhattan Bridge. Can you believe they started building it in 1901? Finished in 1909. I thought it was old when I was a kid, but now? It's just amazing the history that's in this city.
Love to see you all at the fair next week. I'm going for the chili dog record, and I hear the shrimp cocktail competition is going to be biblical.
That's perfect.
Hey, you paid for that photo, Spider-Man? You're cool. No, you're radical.
I heard this guy dips his hot dog buns in tomato juice before eating them. Now, I get that it makes it easy for them to go down, but tomato juice? Brother, that ain't right.
Not bad.
You gotta hand it to New Yorkers. I wasn't even trying to be funny there. If there's a good time to be had, they'll find it.
Hey, Robbie, you got the photo? I think it's a good one to close my submissions with.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But I'm a bit surprised you're stopping now since you left out two of the biggest parts of New York. The Spider-Man.
I mean, I don't know if they're that big. And they are kind of controversial.
Everything I see in these photos, all the stories and history and life, none of it would still be here if it wasn't for the Spider-Man. I hope they know that.
I bet they have some idea.
Well, thanks for the photos, Peter. You've always been better at this than you give yourself credit for.
I don't think that... Thanks, Robbie. Whoever started talking about cities as playgrounds was definitely thinking about New York City. A bodega franchise is copying another bodega's mascot, who is a cat dressed like me. Only in New York, baby. Maybe it's because I've grown up with it, but it feels like chess's natural state is to be played outdoors in a park. Reminds me of when I fought the vulture and someone tried to use his broken-off wings to fly to Long Island. This is much safer. This was the first bridge I swung across after I got my powers. All the cars honked. The tourists taking photos yelled at me to get out of their shots. It was nice. Protesters like these are the reason why Oscorp's been speeding up their payouts lately. Harry's favorite tennis court. With some luck, I'll be able to afford a membership when I'm 40. Oh, who am I kidding? I'll never be a member. These people are out here every week dancing in ways that break my brain. I've actually been studying them for ideas on how to dodge better. Well, given all that's happened in the last few years, predicting increasingly wild events only seems sensible. Favorite place to watch basketball, hands down. First time I swung past it on the way home, I ended up perched on a lamppost staring for 2 hours. Respect to anyone who performs in front of an audience. I did an open mic set once. Aunt May was the only one laughing in the whole crowd, and she was hooting. One time, these guys started to play music to match the fight I was in down the street. It was like I had my own bards. Love wins. The timekeeper. He always made sure I got to class on time when I was at ESU. Don't think I could have managed college and the whole superhero thing without him. Can't imagine how hard it is to open a food business in New York, let alone find success with it. Uncle Ben taught me baseball here. We watched a game together, then we threw the ball around a few times. I hit him in the ear. Little Odessa has one of the oldest farmers markets in the city. What better place to find a slice of New York life? Robbie recommended this place back when MJ and I were first going out. So cool. Totally made up for my obscene sweating from fighting Rhino that day. Accidents aren't unique to New York, but it does feel like they happen a lot here. At least these two are all right. Does any other city have fans like this? I tried to enter a hot dog eating competition with this guy last year, but the crowd booed me out after I asked for ketchup. If this city doesn't have the thing you want, you're probably not looking hard enough. Ah, the old days.